off to the left is a little RV-8A known as Wild Blue. Jive's got him on the roll. And we'll cue Jay for our sound for Wild Blue. And there he is in the sky now. Now this little airplane, he may just be a little home-built aircraft, but he really wants to grow up and be a fighter jet. Now Wild Blue, he may never achieve his dream, but at his controls is indeed a fighter pilot. Now this sort of fighter pilot was once a little boy, like so many young men and women in the audience this morning who just want to grow up and have a dream. Wild Blue's pilot is Jive Kerby, and he is a retired United States Air Force Lieutenant Colonel and fighter pilot. And since April is the month of the military child, we are dedicating all of this weekend's performances of Wild Blue to all the military children, especially those here at Langley Air Force Base this weekend. Jive is originally from Lancaster, Missouri, and his introduction to aviation took place when he was only 10 years old. Jive's dad took him to the county fair and paid a penny a pound, just 75 cents for Jive to get his first ride in an airplane. And he knew right then that he wanted to indeed be a pilot. But it was the next summer when he was 11, his dad took him off to an air show. First time ever, he saw the United States Air Force Thunderbirds fly. And Jive knew then that not only did he want to grow up and be a pilot, he wanted to be an Air Force fighter pilot. To achieve his dreams, Jive started flying when he was only 15, and on his 16th birthday, he planned to get his driver's license and then casually drive himself to the airport to solo for his very first time. But unfortunately, he may have had a goal, but his plan didn't exactly work out that way. You see, Jive flunked his driver's license test. His mother actually had to drive him to the airport, where he did indeed solo for the first time. And to this day, I can tell you that Jive, this man in the sky controlling Wild Blue, is still a much better pilot than he ever was a driver. Jive graduated from the professional pilot training program at Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology and began working as a charter and cargo pilot while paying his way through college to earn his bachelor's degree in aviation from the University of Louisiana at Monroe. Right after college, Jive was recruited by the United States Air Force. He had over 4,400 hours of flight time and his airline transport pilot's license. He was graduating at the top of his Air Force pilot training class, and they gave him the opportunity to fly the mighty F-15C Eagle. During Jive's career, he amassed over 3,400 hours in the Eagle, as well as several hundred hours flying the F-4 Phantom. And it was in the F-4 Phantom that Jive achieved another of his aviation goals, and that was to become an airshow pilot. He became the U.S. Air Force F-4 Heritage Flight Pilot for the 2005 airshow season. Now, Jive currently has over 13,000 hours of flight time in over 60 different aircraft, including flying air shows in the T-28, the T-33, L-39, MS-760, MiG-17, and now the RV-8A, known as Wild Blue. Now, Jive's been punching holes in the sky with this RV-8 since March of 2012. He brought it onto the show circuit. We called him Wild Blue starting in 2013. Jive loves the maneuverability and overall fun-to-fly feeling of the RV-8 as a home built from a factory-made kit. The RV is an airplane that many could inspire to learn to fly and fly aerobatically, just like Jive. The RV-8 from Van's Aircraft is what Jive prefers to call the everyman airplane. Now, Wild Blue himself, he was certified airworthy by the FAA in 2006. He is 10 years old. He can go up to speeds of 200 miles per hour. His engine is a pretty standard RV engine. It's a fuel-injected Lycoming IO 360 with 180 horsepower, and his propeller is a Whirlwind 200 RV. Now, the only thing different between this RV8 and many of the ones that lots of other folks own is that Wild Blue has been specially equipped with a 5-gallon smoke oil tank, as well as inverted fuel and oil systems, so that Jive can take Wild Blue upside down. Now Jive may have started flying air shows in jets, but he likes that he can keep Wild Blue more in front of the crowds and show center, even when he's repositioning for the next maneuver like he's doing right now. Now you can follow along with the Jive and Wild Blue Airshow adventures via our website at flyjivefly.com, by liking our Facebook page, which is FlyJiveFly, and by following us on Twitter at FlyJiveFly. Now Wild Blue has his own Twitter account. It's called Wild Blue Rodeo. We do need to thank our one main product sponsor, and that is Wheelin' Engineering. Wild Blue gets outfitted at night and likes to pretend to be a cop car with all of his Wheeling Engineering lights. We also have a new corporate sponsor, rockandrolldream.com, because everyone has a rock and roll dream, even the little RV8A, Wild Blue, who just wants to grow up and be a fighter pilot. As Jive's wrapping up with a last pass coming back at us in a second, we do want to thank everyone here at Langley Air Force Base for inviting Wild Blue to fly for you this weekend at AirPower over Hampton Roads, and for all the incredible hospitality from the airmen and the amazing volunteers who make this event possible. We hope you've enjoyed Jive and Wild Blue's performance today as much as Jive's enjoyed flying Wild Blue, the little RV8A that wants to be a fighter jet. And to all the military children in the audience today, we hope you reach to the Wild Blue sky for your dreams, and know we all appreciate you and your parents and their service to our great country. Wishing you a Wild Blue sky from the Fly Jive Fly Wild Blue Rodeo team of Jive, Lunar, and Wild Blue. And now, ladies and gentlemen, back to the voice of AirPower over Hampton Roads, Mr. Rob Ryder.
Thank you very much, Lunar Sawyer. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jerry Jive Kerby. Hope you get over that allergy thing, lady. Oh, tough on the throat, isn't it? Get better. We'll see Jive a little bit later at other shows. He's traveling all over the place, and that RV8 is an aircraft that we will see flown again later. The most popular home-built type of aircraft in the history of aviation. Thanks to our Ford dealers, your local Ford dealers, proudly saluting AirPower over Hampton Roads. Now, I was talking about the Geico Skytypers earlier. Let me give you a little bit of a history lesson. Back in World War II, there were 3 phases of training. There was a primary phase of training in very, very simple aircraft. Biplanes, low power, very simple systems, no radios. Then there was basic training. And that gave pilots who made it through the first phase and got into basic a more powerful airplane, more complex systems, radio, and some basic instrumentation. And they got to do a little more in terms of what they were flying and the complexity of their flying. If during those 2 phases, the primary and basic phases of training, which initially lasted 12 weeks at the beginning of the war, about 75 hours of flight time each, if the cadet got through that, he'd then move on to the advanced trainers.